You do not need to fight the manipulator. You need to stop feeding them. There comes a moment in every journey through the underworld when the silence ceases to be a retreat and becomes a roar. It's not the roar of rage, not the noise of retaliation. It is the sovereign declaration of being. It is the quiet thunder that rises from within when a soul no longer consents to its own dimming. Manipulators do not simply take energy. They demand access to your perception, your lens on reality. They rewrite the story not through logic, but through emotional sleight of hand. Their survival hinges on staying central in the narrative of your mind. They thrive when your thoughts orbit them, whether in love, confusion, guilt, or rage. Their power ends the moment your story no longer revolves around their gravity. So this video begins not with an act of confrontation, but with the radical defiance of no longer narrating your life with their shadow in every frame. This is the rebellion of the soul, quiet, relentless, non-negotiable. To understand the depths of manipulation, we must grasp its colonial nature. The manipulator does not simply exploit your weakness. They move in. They pitch tents in your mind. They plant flags in your identity. They convince you that your instincts are defective, that your doubts are betrayal, that your anger is dysfunction. What they colonize is not your body. It is your sense of self. They don't imprison you. They convince you you are already free, as long as you obey. And here lies the invisible war. This is why breaking free feels like treason, why speaking your truth feels like violence, why healing looks, for a time, like destruction. Because the manipulator has welded their voice onto your conscience. To leave them feels like leaving yourself. But that, too, is a lie. You were whole before they entered. You will be whole after they exit. But to reclaim that wholeness, you must unthread every lie that stitched them into your soul. You do not need to fight the manipulator. You need to stop feeding them. Their power is not built on your weakness, but on your attention. They are spiritual parasites, siphoning significance from your gaze. Your focus is their fuel, your reactivity, their ritual. Every time you explain yourself, hoping they'll finally understand. Every time you get drawn into the maze of their moods. Every time you beg for honesty, clarity, or love. You place your soul on their altar. So the first sacred act of rebellion is simple, brutal, and profound. Withdraw your worship, not in anger, not in fear, but in reverence for your life. Let them sit in the vacuum of your silence. Let their distortions echo into nothing. They will rage, collapse, charm, accuse. They will play your savior or your victim. It does not matter. The one thing they cannot survive is your refusal to engage. You may crave resolution. You may want an apology, an admission, a moment of honesty to tie it all together. But part of awakening is realizing this. Closure is a luxury manipulators do not offer. They trade in confusion, in half-truths, in veiled cruelty wrapped in just enough affection to keep you bound. They are masters of the almost sincere, the pseudo-regretful, the apology that blames you in its breath. So stop waiting, stop needing, stop hoping. You don't need closure. You need clarity. And clarity is something you grant yourself, not something you beg from the architect of your confusion. The closure you seek is found in the decision to never again question your sanity on their behalf. Manipulators are not threatened by your intellect. They are threatened by your intuition. They know that your gut is the last refuge of truth. So they teach you to doubt it, to mistrust it, to override it with guilt, with shame, with second guesses. They disguise your wisdom as paranoia, your discernment as judgment, your pain as overreaction. But inside you, untouched by their gaslight, lives a pulse of knowing, a quiet compass that has never stopped pointing toward your liberation. To reclaim your instinct is to return to the earth of your being, to feel the heat of your no, the softness of your yes, the gravity of what feels aligned. This is the most dangerous thing you can do in the eyes of a manipulator, because a person who trusts themselves cannot be controlled. You are likely taught to be kind, but kindness, when severed from discernment, becomes the leash by which manipulators lead the willing. They will frame your boundaries as cruelty. They will call your detachment heartlessness. They will weaponize your empathy against you. So hear this truth. You owe kindness to your inner child first. If your kindness makes you bleed while others feast, it is not kindness. It is self-abandonment. There is nothing noble in staying where your soul shrinks. There is no virtue in enduring what dims your light. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do is walk away and never explain why. Manipulators are not deterred by rejection. They are deterred by your evolution. They don't return because they love you. They return because your growth threatens their narrative. Because your glow reminds them of what they cannot control. They come back not to reunite, but to reinstall the software of self-doubt. So let part 4 be your firewall. Do not return to what you had to crawl your way out of. Do not confuse longing with fate. Do not let nostalgia erase the evidence of who they were and what it cost you. You are not obligated to revisit the fire just because it once warmed you. As you step into this phase of silence, not as a retreat, but as a revolt, you will feel the world recalibrate. What once felt like exile will become initiation. What once felt like loneliness will become sacred solitude. What once felt like a loss will reveal itself as return. In this silence, you'll start to hear your true voice, not the voice shaped by fear, shame, or coercion, but the ancient rhythm of your being. And from this voice will rise a new story, one no manipulator can enter, because they only exist in distortion. And you are now rooted in truth. You are not here to win a war with them. You are here to reclaim peace within you. You are not here to expose their darkness. You are here to ignite your light. You are not here to fix what broke you. You are here to become who you were before you ever doubted your worth. This is the deeper rebellion, not loud, not public, but eternal. You return to your inner kingdom not as a victim, not as a survivor, but as a sovereign being who knows that freedom is not given. It is remembered, it is chosen, and it begins with the sacred, simple act of never again offering your energy to what drains your soul.